From just outside downtown Los Angeles, we welcome you to Inglewood, California, and beautiful SoFi Stadium, where today the journey begins for the 2024 Dallas Cowboys, over 1,900 miles from where they hope to end their season in New Orleans on February 9th. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams, and this is Countdown to Kickoff. Welcome sideline, everybody, here at SoFi Stadium. Alongside Mickey Spagnola, I'm Kyle Youmans, getting you set for preseason game action number 1. And right off the top, we get an opportunity to talk to Cowboys owner, CEO, President Jerry Jones, the Hall of Famer himself. Jerry, it's a little extra sweet kicking things off on the West Coast, especially this year. There's a lot of excitement around what this game will bring.
Well, first of all, I couldn't sleep last night thinking I was born about a mile from where this stadium is here in Inglewood. And it was such a good feeling being a part of the NFL, to have this great stadium represent the NFL in this great sports area. And so it's just, I'm giddy every time we get a chance to come in here on any basis, whether it be a preseason game or whether it be a serious game with either the Rams or the Chargers, and get to play. So this has a little more going for it than a preseason game for me.
It always does, and it's always an opportunity to take a look at a lot of these young players stepping up, taking what they've done out on the field in Oxnard, California during training camp and now applying it to the preseason. But everybody is asking about CeeDee Lamb and the contract situation that is ever evolving. I wanted to ask you specifically, when it comes to contracts in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb is still under contract. How do you view that from an ownership and a GM standpoint when you are addressing a holdout in a contract situation like this?
Well, you have to put it in context. When you're looking ahead, and you have to, several years when you're doing contracts. And so you know those contracts are in place, and you plan on being able to pay that and have those players. Well, when that goes sideways and you don't do the contract, then you've got some adjusting to do. Has nothing to do with the personal feeling about what CeeDee Lamb is to the Dallas Cowboys and what we expect him to be in the future. It has everything to do, though, with the fact that in our system, when you make adjustments there, you have to adjust the whole show to some degree to make it done. But consequently, it's a part of it. I think I got in trouble a little the other day when I said, look, we're not urgent about CD. Well, no one appreciates CD being on the field any more than I do. But let me say this, he wouldn't be taking a snap out here today if he'd been here for all camp. You've got to use your head when you expose key players. That gives the other younger players a chance to do it. We know exactly what CD can do and where he can do it. He's worked out with Dak. And so we wouldn't have him out here. It has really not anything to do with his contract. Dak won't be out here this afternoon. And so the bottom line is, what it is no, there's not that urgency. Now, I understand completely the angst that's happening when you are anxious about and someone says anything about whether you're missed or not. Well, CD, you're missed, okay? But you're not missed out here competing, and it doesn't put any pressure any place on us. We want to get it worked out, but it's not pressure out here today and in practice. It's good to have Mike Zimmer back.
It certainly is. Jerry, it was great to have you on the start of the show. Good luck for the rest of the season. We'll talk to you again a couple weeks from now. How about that?
Great. Wonderful to be here.
No doubt about it. Jerry Jones joining us here on the sideline prior to kickoff between the Cowboys and the Rams. How about that? Tom Brady catching up with Mike McCarthy. We're going to have to interrupt that conversation. We'll have Mike McCarthy when we come back. As unpredictable as it may be, there is always one thing certain on night one of the NFL draft, and that is that dreams come true. Mazi Smith's dream came true when the Dallas Cowboys picked up the phone and selected him at pick number 26. Here's what Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, and others had to say when Mazi Smith was on the phone in the secret audio.
Oh, they picked me.
Mazi.
Hello? Yo.
What's happening, baby?
What's up, man?
Hey, I got somebody that wants to talk to you, my man. Hold
yes,
on
sir.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Get rocking with you. You're gonna. I'll give you back the call, and the guys will get you rocking to get going.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
congrats, man.
you. Yeah, thank you, Coach.
One of the best parts of the entire draft weekend, hearing the emotion, hearing the excitement, not only from Mazi Smith, who was selected, but from the team that was doing the selecting in the Dallas Cowboys. Mazi Smith, the newest Dallas Cowboy. And we have the newest member of the Dallas Cowboys media team, Nick Harris, joining us for the first time. First off, welcome to the team. And you also get an opportunity to start on the same day as Mazi Smith. You'll forever be tied together. What was your gut feeling about the selection at 26?
You know, was it the flashiest pick that the Cowboys could have made at number 26? Maybe not with the names that were on the board, but I think it was the safest pick. When you look back at the team from last season and looking at the biggest needs of addressing, the interior defensive line had to be that with the run defense that they were able to show during the year. Mazi Smith comes in and he'll be able to immediately fill that role in the A and B gaps, being able to plug those running lanes and keep those running backs from getting positive yards like they were able to do in the 2022 season. You know, this will be able to help the Cowboys run defense in a lot of ways. And if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm looking at that whiteboard and I'm just circling the days until I get to Oxnard and work with Mazi. This is going to be a fun development.
How much do you feel like a mentorship back and forth between Jonathan Hankins, who is a veteran? You went and you acquired him via the trade deadline last year. You retained him this offseason. Now they have kind of a one-on-one pairing that Mazi Smith can grow from.
Yeah, both of these guys are guys that, you know, have something to prove in this next season. And as Mickey was saying, Mazi Smith being a team captain at Michigan and what he's been able to show off the field and in the locker room for those guys, being able to bring that presence to the Dallas locker room, you know, I think it's going to be really fun to see how those two specifically coincide with each other. And Hankins, you know, maybe taking him under his wing and see what they can do together in that interior.
It's going to be fun to watch out on the interior. We have seen a couple of the big plays that Mazi Smith made during his time in Michigan behind us. This is one play that really sticks out, and I know it just flashed up, but we got to look at it a little bit more in depth here. This is in the college football playoff semifinal against TCU. This is a crucial part of the game and a crucial part of the season. Here's Mazi Smith right here. He is ready to go, and he's going to go right up against Steve Avila, the left guard for TCU, who is thought to be a day 2 pick. Some thought might slip into round 1. He's still available as we go into tonight's 2nd and 3rd rounds. Look at the way that he extends here, because he does not waste time extending those long arms. He has some length, he has some power, and then he flows off to his left, makes the run stop. You talk about taking up multiple gaps. He did so here. He pushed Avila in to one way. He comes back to the other way to not only make a tackle, but then he rips the football out, Nick Harris. He gets around there and he rips that thing free. And then who else but Mazi Smith to recover the fumble, jumps on top of it. This is just a fraction of what Mazi Smith can do. And Dan Quinn even talking about it yesterday in the presser. Not only can he stop the run, but they think they can unlock a little bit more of his pass rush ability, which is something to keep in mind moving forward. When we come back, we've got day 2 coming your way. The Draft Day Insider Show continues on in a moment. What could be on the board for the Cowboys? Is it a tight end at 58? Maybe a Sam Laporta. So let's learn a little bit more about the RPO. We just heard Micah Parsons outline just the challenge it is for the Philadelphia Eagles, giving this to the Dallas defense, and Isaiah Stanback is going to outline it as we take you back to school. There's a lot to learn about the RPO. It's been in the league for a couple years, not necessarily the nuance and as unique as it once was. There are a lot of teams that run styles like this. How do you contain it if you're Dan Quinn?
Well, if you go back and listen to what Micah Parsons said this week, he said everybody runs the RPO, but everybody can't run it as effectively as the Philadelphia Eagles because it comes down to personnel. And the first person that you have to be concerned about is who? Mr. Jalen Hurts. How do you stop this? Well, I don't think that you really stop the RPO, but you can slow down the RPO. And the first thing you have to do is what? Number 1, have gap discipline. If you take care of the gap discipline, then you ensure that you, first of all, take away the ability to be able to hand the ball off to DeAndre Swift, because that's number 1 concern. If you're also gap disciplined, you can negate the ability for Mr. Jalen Hurts to get outside the pocket and run the ball with be able to pull the option on the actual read option, okay? So gap discipline is absolutely is integral. You have to have these guys up front taking care of things in the inside and be able to contain the outside.
Now, with gap discipline, who is under more pressure? Is it the interior defensive line, the edge rushers, or the linebackers to fill those gaps?
I need big Jonathan Hankins, Osa Odighizuwa. I need both of you guys to get penetration, because versus an RPO, the one thing that they like to do is have guys going all across the way, trying to confuse you. If you have big fellas in the middle that blow up that inside offensive lineman, the center and the guard, they cannot get to what they really want to do. They can't even read, because guess what? You're in the backfield.
Yeah, there's a lot of different muddying that can happen up front in that front 7.
if the big guys in the middle do their job. All right, what's next?
The second one is they got some big receivers out there, so you have to go up there and get physical with the receivers. Go out there and be physical with these big fellas. A.J. Brown. Okay, who else you got out there, Kyle?
Well, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert.
Those guys out there. Anyways, go up there and bring the physicality.
You can't just throw those away. They're both really good receivers.
Hey, don't let A.J. Brown bring it to you. You take it to him. Don't be the nail, be the hammer, okay? So go out there, put your hands on him. You have 5 yards. They give you 5 yards in the rule book to go out there and throw him around a little bit. You have to do so because also in the RPO, the run pass option, he has the ability to run screens. He has the ability to run routes. And if you allow for them to get off the ball without you getting your hands on them, they're going to pay for it. So make sure you use your E-Honda, get your Street Fighter up at the line of scrimmage, and disrupt their ability to get off the line of scrimmage cleanly.
And Barry Church, if he were here, of course, he wasn't able to make it today, feeling sick. Feel better, Barry Church. But I know he's watching at home, and he's saying, get physical. He loves the press at the line of scrimmage and make those guys get off of their original timing. And there's one final key, though, to get it done.
Let me see if I can channel my inner Barry. You got to go out there, and you got to punish Jalen Hurts, baby. And the reason why you have to punish Jalen Hurts is because of the fact this dude does not like pressure. This year against the pressure, this dude has 6 touchdowns. That's cool, okay. But he has 5 interceptions. I believe he has 12 turnovers this year. He's fumbled the ball a lot. So go out there and hit him in his chest. He's only completing 53 of his passes whenever you actually put some pressure on him. So when you talk about pressure, that does not necessarily mean that you have to come in the form of a blitz. That means getting in the backfield, disrupting what's going on in terms of the handoff to DeAndre Swift. And then when he wants to get out the pocket, have Micah Parsons, D-Law, anybody else that wants to join the party, go out there and make things difficult for him. Just don't allow for him to have clean looks. There's a rumor out there saying that he's not as physically able as he once was. So you might want to go out there and continue to make things difficult.
A little banged up. They've always said pressure makes diamonds, and that could be the way the Cowboys have a diamond and a shiny performance against the Philadelphia Eagles. A little bit of back to school on how to defend the RPO. Philadelphia is going to have to defend the Dallas run game, though, and the weapon that they have in the backfield with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was asked this week, where's the home run ability? Where has it been? Why hasn't it shown up yet? And he said, you know what? It's coming because he's going to start manifesting the big play ability again. It is a new season, and it's a new motto for Mike McCarthy and this Cowboys coaching staff. They've done it every year. It's been resilience. It's victory last year or 2 years ago. This year, it's Carpe Omnia, which is Latin for seize everything. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, you see an empty picture frame with the 5 other Super Bowl teams for the Dallas Cowboys. They want to seize everything here in 2023, and that picture, it says 1,000 words, and it's yet to be written for the Dallas Cowboys. Do you like the motto overall, Barry, and what they brought to the table? Because that's the ultimate goal. They want to lift the Lombardi again.
I love the theme. I love the theme because if you look at it, this team has what it takes. They got the leadership. They got the experience. They have the talent out there. Now it's just up for these 2023 Dallas Cowboys to go out there and seize the opportunity.
Yeah, that's exactly what they have to do. They have to just simply take the opportunities that are given to them, do the best they can with them, and go week by week. Don't look too far in advance. Obviously, that's the end goal, but you have to take it week by week, and it starts this week with the Giants.
I agree with 100% because what we're talking about here is seizing the moment, taking every step and enjoying it as you go, every snap, every down, every series. Just seize the moment, and eventually everything will fall in place so you can make that run.
He said he revealed that theme on Monday to the team, and he was actually talking with us earlier in the week, and he was saying that he's actually used a Carpe Diem before, and of course Carpe Diem. I brought my copy of Dead Poets Society.
Oh, there we go.
So Robin Williams, great. There you go, right there. I won't move it around too much. It's a classic movie. Carpe Diem, seize the day. You want to know when the last time the Cowboys said seize the day, or at least Mike McCarthy said seize the day? It was in Dallas. It was right before the Packers took on the Steelers and won the Super Bowl for Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. That was the only other time he's used a Carpe. He told us that off to the side earlier this week. He's trying to grab some of that same luck this time around. 2 of the best units represented here on Cowboys Pregame Live in football history. The Steel Curtain defense of the 70s with Mean Joe Green joining us here in studio. And, of course, the Great Wall of Dallas. Nate Newton, our very own as well. So, guys, it's an honor to have you guys sitting here together. And Mean Joe, of course, you live in the Dallas area, but you're still a Steeler at heart. I can't help but notice you still keep up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's it like being a part of this rivalry and seeing another chapter unfold tonight?
Well, the best part is I don't have to go out and play. That's the best part. Another part is to be a fan of football like I am, to be able to watch good teams play one another.
Yeah, and Nate, you had a chance to be a part of those rivalries along the way as well. I mean, what does it mean to see these two franchises play against each other again?
It's always a good thing. I mean, when I see Mr. Green, man, I grew up watching him and, you know, Mean Joe and doing his thing, man, and then to come and play for the Cowboys, which I always rooted for the Cowboys as I was growing up in Orlando, Florida, and I hated the Steelers. So, because they always ruined my Super Bowls for me. So it's just a great thing to be a part of something that's fantastic like these two franchises. Yeah.
Now, Mean Joe, you guys never got the chance to go up against each other, but if you were going to try and get around Nate, how would you do it? How would you get around Nate Newton?
I would hope he would be like Nyland.
Yeah.
And I'd fake inside like I was going inside.
Yeah.
He'd jump at it. I'd walk right on by him.
Yeah.
You would do that.
Mr. Green, I'm going to tell you what, now when I seen you play ball is how vicious you was, I probably would have just opened up and let you go right on through.
Let's talk about this matchup, and it is going to look a little bit different for the Cowboys. We got to start with the biggest storyline of the week. Dak Prescott out for a significant period of time. He has not been placed on IR as of this moment, but that is the expectation that he will miss, if not the rest of the season, a significant amount of time. Barry, how much does that change things for this Cowboys team whenever they go into a matchup like this?
Well, you know, as far as on the play is considered, I don't think the offense will change much between Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, but what you're gonna lose from not having Dak Prescott out there is that leadership. I mean, this is one of the biggest leaders I've ever been around. I got to play with him his rookie season coming in there. We thought, okay, this is a fourth-round draft pick. What's he going to be able to bring to the table? But we understood as the season goes on that this guy gives you his all no matter what's going on. So to me, that leadership aspect that Dak Prescott brings is what this Cowboys team is going to miss.
Yeah, you just touched on it, the leadership aspect. And when you have your QB1, I don't care if he's the highest paid in the league history or if he's just the QB1 of the Dallas Cowboys. This is the guy that everybody looks to. He's the guy who they look at his play, they look at how he carries himself, they look at his character, and they look at how he's going to lead these guys on the field. Obviously, he's gone now, so now you have Cooper Rush, somebody who's been around, somebody who this organization trusts, this locker room understands that has been around, has the wisdom, has the cool, calm, and collectedness, and the success on the field as a 5-1 starter to lead these guys to success.
He has the knowledge, he has the skill, he can place the ball, but what he's gonna need is a lot of time. Let him do this with 3-step drops, 5-step drops. He's not as strong as Dak. Dak is taking a physical beating before he went out on his injury. We can't afford for Cooper to have this type of beating because we have an even younger guy behind him. So we have to stand strong and be precise in how we do things today.
That's one of the things about this quarterback room is that when you even take a step away from Dak Prescott and you do put in Cooper Rush to be a part of this offense, he has proven that he can win games in the NFL. So don't rush to conclusions when it comes to Cooper Rush. Let's take a look at some of his numbers so far throughout his career. I mean, for the most part, he's been steady hand Luke for this Cowboys offense. A 5-1 record, Isaiah, you mentioned that a moment ago, but it's really the completion percentage, the yardage, the passer rating. All of these things are steady. They're maybe not the step up that you could get from a Dak Prescott, but at the same time, that's what you're asking him to do, is steady the ship.
Yeah, that's what you want him to be, a bus driver. And I know that's an overutilized term, but when you look at Cooper Rush and even what he was able to come in the game last week and do, he was able to sit in the pocket while under pressure, move with calm and collectedness, being able to work up into the pocket, throw the ball on time, anticipating his receiver. He's not guessing. He's not wondering if he has the ability. He's delivering the ball to these guys and putting them in a position to get this thing that we like to say in offense called YAC. That's yards after catch. So if he can do this and half the time that Nate's talking about, you're going to have opportunity to see some of these guys that you haven't seen make plays this year. They're going to show back up today.
I'm going to tell you what, man. I'm going to go old school on you, man. Phil Simms of the New York Giants was a bus driver. You know, Tom Brady was the highest paid bus driver I knew. Come on, Cooper Rush, drive that bus, baby.
Yeah, look, the Cowboys understand what they have in Cooper Rush. I mean, this is a guy who's an ultimate professional. He understands that when his number is called, it's going to be time for him to step up and get the job done. I believe this opportunity will be slightly different than it was back in 2022 when he took over for Dak Prescott. I believe there's going to be more on his plate. You know, the offensive line is not playing as great as it once was. You know, there's no type of balance with the run game. So I believe Cooper Rush is going to have to be a little bit more than a bus driver out there, lifting these guys on the outside to be able to get the job done. But I still believe without Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush still gives you the best opportunity to get a W.
Let's hear from Cooper earlier in the week talking about the challenge at hand and taking over this Cowboys offense.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to beat Philly. I mean, that's kind of our approach this week. You got to take them one at a time. It's a cliche, but it works.
Delayed 90 minutes with their first meeting with Pittsburgh in primetime since 1982, but when they finally got underway, it turned into an instant classic. Dallas driving, looking for an early lead after trading field goals at a 3-3 ball game. Dak Prescott sacked by T.J. Watt and Nick Herbig. Herbig hops onto the football, recovers the strip sack. Steelers have the first takeaway of the night. Luckily, the Dallas defense was playing really well despite missing a couple of their key pieces on this specific third down. Osa Odigizua and Carl Lawson share the sack. Dallas ends up with the football back and an opportunity to get the passing attack rolling. Dak finds Jake Ferguson. He rumbles downfield 27 yards into the Pittsburgh red zone. But 2 plays later on second down, Dak has to roll to his left, trying to find Kevontae Turpin. He misses him on the left side, but that's not the story. Instead, it's the rookie left tackle Tyler Guyton who left the game, who would not return with a lower body injury, the second of the Cowboys' top 2 draft picks to leave this game, including Marshawn Nealon. They settle for a field goal up 6-3. Dallas has the ball and a chance to drive again in the red zone, but Dak Prescott is intercepted by Dante Jackson. The Steelers keep it a 6-3 ball game at the break. Into the third quarter we go. Pittsburgh starts the half with the football, and they take a whole 3-minute drive downfield, capped off with a Justin Fields touchdown to Connor Haywood from 16 yards out. Next drive, Cowboys line up a 38-yard field goal. This one is blocked, keeps the Cowboys at a 4-point deficit, and it sends us into the fourth quarter with a Pittsburgh lead. Dallas would finally establish the ground game with Rico Dowdle, and then he gets involved in the passing game as well. Dowdle with the touchdown. He has it on the rollout from Dak, and Dallas takes a 13-10 lead. Following a Pittsburgh punt, Cowboys can take charge, but not going to happen on this drive. Dak Prescott intercepted by Joey Porter Jr. The Steelers get it right back and work into Dallas territory quickly. After the turnover, it was Justin Fields with the toss up front for Pat Freiermuth, who rumbles his way into the end zone. Pittsburgh with a late 17-13 advantage. Dak and Dallas taking over. They go all the way down to the 1, but Rico Dowdle, as he dives to the end zone, fumbles the football. Luckily for Dallas, QB1 is on top of it. He recovers it. Second life for the Cowboys. Next play, third down. Open Jalen Tolbert in the back of the end zone. Dak throws it low. Tolbert can't hold on, but don't worry, he gets one more opportunity, and redemption is oh so sweet. He catches it right on the goal line, holds on to the football despite some tight coverage from the Pittsburgh defense. Dak Prescott fired up because he led his team down the field in 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Finds his wide receiver 2 target, Jalen Tolbert, who stepped up in a huge way without Brandon Cooks, and the Cowboys hold on to a 20-17 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that no one will forget anytime soon, and some that we'll be talking about, of course, going into this victory Monday. 20-17, here are the final stats presented by Miller Lite. Third down, total yards, rushing yards, all of this all working out to perfection for the Cowboys as we welcome in Nate Newton, a 3-time Super Bowl champion. Nate, it was not pretty for the Cowboys, but they got the job done.
Yes, it was a gritty, hard-nosed win. I mean, we went in there, we needed to do something. We needed to control time and possession. We did that with 32 minutes. We needed to run the ball. We did that 31 times for 109 yards. We needed to make sure that Rico Dowdle had a rhythm. He had that at 20 carries and 87 yards. This team played well, and our defense held up. 233 yards, total defense given up. Hey, we like that. 25% on third down, 3 for 12. Defense, that travels, Kyle.
Yes, it does. And the defense was the story in this one, the way that they were able to get the job done late, holding Justin Fields and company in that pursuit. And Justin Fields was playing really good football coming in, but it was Dallas that comes out on top.